at first you wished. I saw the Revolt documentary. You wished him well. You weren't really mad at the beginning, but it seems like the disrespect over time is what made you switch, because you also kind of talked about in one of your.
I gave everybody a wish well on that Revolt.
Yes. Yeah.
I tried to be
the whole BSB. Yeah.
Not just that, everything.
Yeah.
Even the guy who had the event.
Yeah.
Right? I ain't got no problem. I was told he's gonna reach out to me. Still ain't heard from him.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm some sucker, but nonetheless, I had to say, yo, benefit of the doubt to everybody. But like you get into when you keep seeing the lack of respect, right?
Yeah.
And I can feel like with dude, he know that I'm on this different energy, right? And because I'm on this different energy, I'm gonna get away with a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, come on, homie. You're a strategist, right? You strategize that, right?
Yeah.
And society know that. The people who's watching it, but I know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that you can't even come in the same space with me in the room when nobody's there, right? And talk crazy in no shape, form, or fashion. It's gonna be all about respect and apologies. So you can't even face you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know that's really how I look at it, bro.
And he knows that in the public spotlight, if you were to do something that went against what you talked about, then it would kind of destroy what you're doing. You know, you kind of mess up what you're doing. That I think that what you said is very true about how he knows that you're on a new type of energy, and so he's kind of acting that way or reacting that way to the process of what's going on. But
he won't come near me and disrespect me. Yeah, nobody won't. Right? It's a difference between living and giving energy and being on the defense, right? And protecting yourself and your family. And we don't ever want to mix that up. You know, we all have a right to protect ourselves and our family. So even though I push positive, I'm always going to protect my health and my well-being. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So instead of, fueling anybody's fire or adding to it, I just, I deal with it the way I deal with it. Because we see so much that we could respond to, and eventually we're going to have to give somebody that negative energy that they asking for if you continue to feed into their negative. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes. Very true. So one of the people that have been involved in this and now, been indicted for the murder is Taxstone. He was a podcaster at one point, and he has claimed to be a blood gang member, which I've heard you speak on, that you can't be one if you just say one day you became one. But I want to ask, growing up and being in Brooklyn, did you know this guy? Did y'all?
Never heard of him. He's a nobody. Always been. Yeah, always been nobody to me. I don't know. I was in the streets. Never heard of dude till he got a podcast. That's it. Ain't never put no work in nowhere. Fake homie. I don't know him. Never knew him. He gonna have a hard bid though. Anyway.
So he was at first he was only arrested for the weapons charges, right?
Yeah.
And then now he was just last month indicted for the murder.
Yeah.
Did you see that coming from the very beginning? Like, have you known this? Like, have you known that that's coming for a long time now?
Yeah, I knew that.
For that him?
Yeah.
You knew that? Okay.
Let me tell you why I knew it, right? This is a national case.
Yeah.
I've been in the system. I know laws. So, and I'm from the street, so I always analyze everything, right, from the whole incident. And even though I never was able to get the footage myself because I didn't go to the DA, I didn't go to the urban, I didn't want to deal with none of that. Mm-hmm. I saw it through Dude, right?
Yeah.
And as I'm looking at it, this is like shortly after he comes out of jail on bail. I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, look at all these people in here. Look at all these people going in and out that room. All these people, somebody's in the streets, right? Mm-hmm. That seen what just happened. Might be a couple weeks, months or so, they're going to catch a case, and what they going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to snitch, right?
Yeah.
Because you at a concert with everybody that's all in the mix, scamming, drugging, right? So somebody's going to get in that situation, and I'm looking at the camera, and I'm saying, look at these faces, are too clear. I know they're going to do their job. They're going to run down on this person, run down on that person and identify them, right? They're going to do their investigation. Yeah. This was an enclosed building. You have to pass the camera to get into that building.
Yep.
There's no way you're going to get away with that, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of the main things for me of patience, right? I said, okay, you got patience because he's not getting away with that. And the only sad part for me was, when he got arrested first time, they was talking about bail. I was like, oh man, that's terrible.
Oh yeah.
If he gets bail, I go to jail. Right. So once there's an identification, I'm forced to respond. Right. So that was, I didn't speak about the first time here. It's like that was my concern.
Yeah.
When he first, all right, bail him out. I'm gonna be right there. That was the risk I was gonna take at that point.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me you identify him and you put him back out in the community around me, right? I'm only human, right? Let's keep it tall. You know what I'm saying?
There's only a certain amount you can take.
Fact, right? But that was really it for me. I always knew, I spoke on it before, I always knew that if he ever came anywhere near me, I was going back anyway.
Okay.
Right? Without him being arrested. So, like I said, when I speak about it, it's about the fact of reality, right?
Yeah.
These are the challenges, these things that I was going through and how I dealt with it. But I anticipated that happening because I understood the system. I understood how everything happens in a situation like that. I understood the fact that he was a convicted felon in possession. I knew that that would be a federal case. I knew that once that had been a federal case, I know the feds you supersede. Once you get there, they're not playing with you. You're gonna take that. Once you take that, you committed to that. Now that's coming. That's the system. He didn't get no special treatment. It wasn't like that because it was him. That's how they work.
Yeah.
It's just a case the state needed for proof because they didn't have you in possession of it.
Yeah.
So now once they get their proof, do a federal case. Now you got that state case. So yeah, that was that was what I was expecting to happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. One thing that you said, which I don't understand why this didn't click in anybody's head when that whole thing took place, is you were saying there's a camera. You gotta walk when you walk in. You're on the camera. So I'm kind of wondering, like, as you see cameras, why is there even any criminal activity going on in front of, like, when there's cameras around? Why does it even escalating to that point and you not stopping before realizing, hey, there's cameras, people are watching, people are this, that, and the third. But my question is, at first when you found out about what happened with Tax and Dude, how much did that play in your head about him opening his mouth so much and then your brother kind of paying for it? Was that something that drove your anger as well? Is that he was opening his mouth and your brother was the one who had to face problems because of that?
Definitely. Now that it's out, everybody understand that it was a long going confrontation via social media between them.
Yeah.
So, to see it from the beginning and speak on it and try to have conversations and alleviate it and never go in a positive way, to see what happened, yeah, man, that's something that it constantly replays in my mind. My brother, because my older brother that's incarcerated, that we always talk about, like, son, how many times we tried to, you know what I mean? And now look who we lost behind, nigga running his mouth.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that was one of the biggest challenges for me. Just not becoming real hateful.
Beefing with these guys, a lot of your team has to deal with sometimes the repercussions, and then a lot of times, I mean, I know your brother was from that, like he was from y'all's environment, but a lot of the people that are on these teams are not from these environments. They're publicists or regular 9-to-5 people. And they end up getting hurt, and they're not even about that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like as a rapper, you got to hold some responsibility to how powerful your words are.
Right.
You got to take some responsibility to that, I feel.